3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Peaceful Truth, the podcast where we talk about everything from women empowerment, feminism, and everything in between. You are joined by your two co-hosts and their one sign that's falling down in the background. Kenzie and Meghan and
Meghan Hobart.
If you're watching on YouTube, we got this neon sign that's our logo, but like I can't get our wall to like accept it, and so it keeps falling off the wall. So now it looks like sad in the corner.
Maybe we should just have like a shelf where during non-recording times you have like a nice picture of yourself, and then during recording times we just kind of prop it up there.
Oh yeah, like another one of the shelves in this room. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to put that because we rent it, but yeah. But yeah, how are you this week, Meg?
Good. Fall's here.
Fall's here.
It's here in
like it.
full force.
It doesn't seem like you're excited about it.
I'm 0% excited about it.
No.
It's okay. I'm going to try to have a positive attitude for you and for me.
No, you don't have to have one for me, but I like to try for myself to stay positive.
No, you should. You should for like at least the first 3 years.
Until I hit
Until you hit year
then I
4.
my soul gets destroyed that I'll never be able to afford a house, and then I'll like just be done.
Yes.
Okay, great.
That is the process of living in Seattle.
Because like in Texas, like I could buy a house now, but like in here, it's not even like a dream.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, I'm really sad about how cold it is.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cold today.
And windy.
But I was kind of sick today, so I didn't go outside except for just opening the door just right now, actually.
I literally just opened the door for the first time all day.
And I'm like, oh, no, shut it again.
Other than that, everything's good. You know, work and such, yoga, all the good stuff.
You're just ruling the world over here.
Apparently.
Binks was also sick today. Like
oh, no.
Once a month, he has his hairball day.
Oh, so today's his hairball day.
And he had his hairball throw up.
Oh, no. Does he feel better?
Yeah, but like me and my roommates have memorized his different meows, which mean different things. And like this one was his throw up meow.
So you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And it happens once a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a period.
Yeah. But it's much shorter. I would almost prefer like barfy months versus having
So now he's like 100% recovered from it?
Yeah, cats don't even get like down about it.
They're just like whatevs.
Well, look at all of his hair. He's got to throw it up somehow.
Oh yeah, he's extremely fluffy.
But yeah.
How was your week?
Good. A little under the weather. But good. I actually am liking fall.
Keep it up, girl. Keep it up.
I'm keeping up
That's
the
all
positivity.
I can say. So I thought of something because we touched on it a little bit last week
And it was kind of a good idea.
About our new favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
And I thought that we could each go over our 3 favorite podcasts that either women host or women produce or women have a large influence over. So let's go from 3, 2 to 1, 1 being our favorite. And we're going to have,
I haven't ordered them yet.
We're for sure going to have an overlap. I'm curious to see where it falls in relation to like my 3rd place versus your 1st place. But you go first.
Okay. So
what's
it's
number
actually
3?
my 3rd.
Okay.
It's going to be our mutual one.
Okay.
It's My Favorite Murder.
Yes.
My Favorite Murder. With Karen and Georgia.
They're the best.
They really are pretty great. They're like 2 female comedians. But like when someone asked me, like last night, I was trying to explain to someone I met, like how like what the podcast was about, and like their face was like real judgmental at first. You know, it's like my favorite podcast is My Favorite Murder, and they're like,
yeah, they're like, what the heck?
Are you a psychopath?
Hey, I think I told Chelsea about My Favorite Murder.
And then she told me.
Oh, okay. Nice.
She goes, Meghan Hobart's recommended this. And this is before we started it?
Way before, I think.
Yeah. So she was like, Meghan Hobart's like recommended this to you.
Such a good one. They're just really goofy, but then like they tell really good stories. I feel like Karen especially tells really good stories.
So it's not like, okay, so we need to preface it. Like, what's it about? Like, it's about talking about cold cases, but they're not actually like kidding about, like, they're not like making jokes about people that are dying.
The jokes happen before and after the stories.
And kind of like in between about abstract concepts that aren't like directly related. Like, oh, this took place in Cincinnati. Well, one time in Cincinnati, like this happened to me.
Yeah.
So it's not like making fun of the murder. In fact, they raise a lot of awareness about cold cases and investigations. And
they also raise a lot of awareness about mental health
and how to not get murdered, like staying out of the forest.
Don't join a cult. Since we're on the topic, I think it's my third favorite too.
You think so?
Yeah, it's my third favorite.
Yeah, no, it's really funny.
So good.
Good to get into, but I would say if you're not like in the mental state to listen up,
then you shouldn't listen.
Because it gets dark.
It gets dark. It's very dark.
Yeah.
They also do tours, and I really want to see them live.
They're about to come, or they came here.
I think they already came here. I think I looked and there was one seat left. I was like, well, I'm not going to go by myself.
Yeah, I would have gone with you if we caught it early enough. I think it sold out like within
so
few
fast.
minutes.
So fast that stuff sells out. Those girls, they're just ruling the world for sure.
Those girls. Okay, so it was your number 3 though.
So it was my number 3. So my number 2 is Conversations from the Heart with Yoga Girl.
Oh, that is a good one.
Do you listen to it?
I've listened to a few.
So Yoga Girl is Rachel Brathen, who is like kind of is idol. Inspo is a better word than idol. So she teaches yoga. She's a huge yoga teacher in Aruba, originally from Sweden. She just has so many great things on about yoga and eating she's actually vegan.
Oh.
She doesn't like press it on you. She just kind of is like, hey, I just want to tell you about it. But she's not like, you are going to burn for all eternity if you eat that meat. Like her husband is like a pure like chicken wing pizza eater. So
right.
And then
which actually sounds very hard. Wait, is Des a vegetarian?
No.
Okay. So is that ever difficult?
I think that it just prompts me to eat meat more often than I would like. Just because like
maybe him less meat than he
Yes. So I think that it's just I talk to my therapist a lot about it, and it's just all about balance, you know?
There you go.
So and
she probably helps with that too.
She does. And then they have a really cute little daughter. Her name is Leia Luna, and she's the cutest thing ever. And
that's the main reason I follow her on Insta. Is her daughter?
Yes, she's so freaking cute. Leia Luna is so happy all the time. It just like inspires me to be happy.
That's because she was like in a yoga person's belly
for a really long time.
Like she had good like vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I should do yoga the rest of my adult life if in case I ever have a baby. Like it comes out smiling. It's like, this is great.
So she also has great guests on. Last week she had on Cheryl Strayed, who wrote Wild.
Oh, cool.
She's had on Seal, just like some I know she's had on some really good guests. And so I also strongly support her Sgt. Pepper's Foundation, which is a foundation for homeless dogs on the Aruban Island. And so she has a shelter where the dogs and the cats come. And then she's also starting Yoga Girl Foundation, which supports bringing awareness of child abuse in Aruba, because apparently it's a really prominent issue on the island. So she's going to start spreading awareness about child abuse.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so she's doing great things.
That's really cool. It's a good one. So is that one, how would you describe it? Like, what's your mood? Or like, what sort of mood is that?
My mood is if I'm just feeling really like spiritual, like I just listened to My Favorite Murder and it was really dark. And then I listened to Yoga Girl to bring it back up.
There you go. That's a good tip. And maybe I should download it more and watch it. So my number 2, it's kind of like co-produced by like 2 people of different sexes, but it's probably like she's like a main factor. So Jenna and Julian podcast.
Yes.
I love it. Is that one of yours?
No, but
that would have been
good.
So funny if that was like another one of yours. No, they are. I've listened. That was the very first thing I listened to about podcasts, because I used to, like the more busy I've gotten, I don't watch every single one of their YouTube channel videos, but it was like how I listened to them like another way. And then I started getting into podcasts. But so I listen to them every week. Jenna Marbles is like one of the beginning YouTubers. She like became famous off how to trick people into thinking you're good looking.
That was like her first probably, huh?
Yeah, and how to like make weird faces to get creepers away from you.
She's just like the epitome of goofy.
Goofy, yeah, and she doesn't care, and
she cares kind of zero. But then she also cares a lot
about people, but doesn't care about what people think, which is, I think, a good balance. And yes, she's goofy, but she's smart and she's hardworking, and she is a good role model, for sure. And she just follows her own spirit. But they are like, they talk about a variety of things. So sometimes I don't listen to it, to be honest, because sometimes they talk about wrestling. I'm not super into anything to do with wrestling.
They're both into wrestling, or he is, and then she kind of got into it.
I think they've always both been into it separately. And then they are both vegan, which I listen to their vegan podcast though, because I probably one day admittedly will be convinced to become a vegetarian. It's just very hard for me culturally to like leave that.
It's also hard for me because I like strongly, like if I eat a vegetarian or even a vegan meal, it may taste really good at the time.
Yeah.
But then if I have a bite of Dez's that has meat in it, I'm like, oh shit, that tastes so much better. So, yeah. But then after I eat it, then my stomach feels really heavy. You know what I mean? So it's like pluses and minuses. So balance,
definitely. And I think vegetarian, I could never be vegan. I just know.
I mean, cheese. I mean, so good.
And eggs. Okay. I'm not going to give it. I think they'll be fine booping out an egg. It's going to be out there anyway, so I'm going to eat the egg. But I'll make sure it's free range though. But no, Jenna and Julian, they can also be super lighthearted, where they just play games with each other in like certain scenarios, or they talk about conspiracy theories. It's just one of those, like, it's the true form of entertainment of a podcast. It's like what entertainment should be, of removing your mind from something like sad or a bummer. It's like truly get in their world. And I feel like I talk like them a lot, and I feel like I'm goofy like them a lot. So I just feel like I'm with friends when I'm listening to their podcast.
I also think that Chelsea, you probably told Chelsea about them, and then Chelsea told me. So once again, a link between you and Chelsea, like, with podcasts.
Down. We've oddly like trickled onto each other. So that's my number 2. What's your numero uno?
My number 1.
Us.
Well, of course.
I'm just kidding.
I love how
us.
You just thought of that. That was really good comedic timing.
Thank you.
You really nailed that one.
What's your real number 1? I know it's really us, so that's not lie.
Similar to yours, a woman she's a co-host, so I thought it was okay. The Bobby Bones Show.
I follow him on Insta, but I don't listen to him. What's it about? Why do I know him on Instagram, but I don't?
Do you follow, I mean, The Peaceful Truth follows him, but
maybe that's why.
Okay.
And
I don't know if you're like personal one.
Truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Bobby Bones Show, I've listened since I was, 10 years old. Like, no freaking joke.
Who is that?
He's a radio personality.
Okay.
So he started off radio. Austin only started off, right?
Oh, wow.
And so he would be on when I was getting ready to school, driving to school. And then he took off, nationally syndicated, is huge now.
Kind of like Kid Craddock.
Yes. Yeah. And now, so he's on iHeart, so you can listen to him on iHeart. You can listen to him on Apple Podcast. And then he still has like the morning radio. And the reason that I really, really, really love him is for his co-host, Amy Brown.
Amy Brown. Let's hear about her.
Also my idol as well.
Oh, cool.
So the reason that I love...
Wait, are they married?
They're not married.
Okay.
She's married to another man.
That's maybe sexist of me to say, so sorry about being not feminist on a feminist podcast.
No, right whenever they first started being friends, she was already dating her husband, so there was never any like sexual tension or anything.
Sometimes that's the best way to form a friendship with a man, if there's like nothing.
Yeah, like there's no even possibility. So the reason I love her and Bobby Bones is because I think that they kind of yeah, they still have the radio that they need to, you know, entertain people and tell funny stories and, you know, keep us updated on what's going on in the celebrity world, like a typical radio show, but they also really dive deep into what's going on in their personal lives. So Amy's mom suffered from cancer multiple times. Amy was like super honest and super open about it and helped so many other people who were going through the similar issues. Amy also struggles with fertility, and she hasn't been able to get pregnant for, I don't know, I want to say they've been trying for like 6 years, and we've heard it all 6 years. We've heard about it. And
that's really vulnerable and brave.
She's kept us updated on what they were trying. She kept us updated on her adoption. And so adoption is extremely difficult. And I didn't realize that until I was hearing Amy go through it. She tried, first she tried in the United States, but then her husband is in the Air Force, and so they had to move states quite frequently due to Air Force, and every single time they would have to start from scratch, every single move, because you have to, it's like a different agency.
How is she the co-host? Does she do it remotely with him?
Yes. Okay. So, but now her husband is just a pilot for, I guess, like a big airline. Oh. So now they live in Nashville permanently.
Okay, cool.
And so then she went to Haiti on a mission trip, and she fell in love with these two kids, and they adopted them, and it was like a 3-year. It took forever for the kids to get here, and then they've been here for 10 months, and we get to see the kids on Instagram, and she talks about them, and they're the cutest, best things ever. And so that is why I just love that they're so open and honest with their struggles, and then they show us the good parts too.
Thank you. I need this podcast in my life.
Yes, you do.
I would like it.
So it's the Bobby Bones Show replay is what's on podcast, and so you can listen to what they talked to that morning. So it's like 2 hours long.
So it's like downloaded from what their radio show is.
Correct. And so then if you listen to the podcast, you know, the radio show will have advertisements and it'll have songs that they play because they're on country stations. So the podcast takes all of that out.
That's
so
cool.
You just like listen to them talking. And then Amy partners and Bobby partners with the Shop Forward to raise money for, I think I probably worn some Shop Forward stuff here, but they create these shirts, and then the money goes to St. Jude's is a big one for them, or the orphanage where the two kids came from in Haiti.
It's like your bag, the Shop Forward designs a bag where it like says 3 different things that you chose.
Yes. And so they're good people.
I love that. Yes. Well, thank you for a good recommendation. Okay, my number 1 is the one I talked about last week. I can't stop binging it. Girls Gotta Eat. So it's actually like very like, it's about dating and like single life, and they're both comedian, like funny girls. Let me look up their names. I think it's Raina and Ashley. Let's see. But they are really, really cool. And so it's just talking about the dating world, and it just makes me feel more normalized. I'm like, don't talk about dating too much on here, but like, I feel like in Seattle, like there's like the Seattle freeze with dudes, at least, where they like will seem interested and get invested, and then they'll just be like, oh, never mind. And so like hearing about them and their experiences in general, so maybe it's just everywhere now being kind of similar, and like telling stories on the dating apps that I can relate to. It's just hilarious.
I think that it's partially like a Seattle thing, partially like a big city thing, and then partially how our dating right now is so driven by apps.
Right. And maybe it's me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think it is. I think it is those things. And it's just like, it's interesting. And this podcast makes me feel, even though it's comedy and it's super lighthearted and really vulgar, which sometimes I think is hilarious. I'm just gonna be honest. Comedy being insulting is funny, and so it's just hilarious. And these girls like have no reservations, but they make me more confident about being a single woman. Like, and so I feel like if you are single and you're a female or even a man and you like need to feel more confident about it, like just listening to them normalize everything that you kind of go through is actually kind of helpful.
So every single episode is about dating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have different guests on, or sex, and they have different guests on. Like they actually had like a psychological expert on who was like an expert in sex. His book is called She Comes First.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like really liberal and really lighthearted. So if you're offended by that, like, okay, but it's fun.
And do they live in like a New York or an LA or like a big city?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're both like social media influencers as well. And Ashley is also a comedian, and Ashley, she runs Fashion Dads. Have you ever seen that Instagram account?
Mm-mm.
It's where like dads dressed in terrible stereotypical dad outfits, like Crocs, cargo shorts, and all that stuff. She like picks apart their outfit, but acts like it's a fashion blog, like a fashion Insta, and they're like, today my mood was this. That's why I'm rocking my Crocs today, and I added little jewels, and so it just makes fun of them. And then she also has Bros Being Basic, which is like about dudes being basic. And then Raina is a social media influencer, and she is like a foodie, so she goes around and eats different food.
Oh my gosh.
Which is actually my dream.
These ladies, they sound like they're living the life.
I know, like I screwed up.
So do either of them have serious boyfriends, or right now
No.
just both dating?
Both dating. It's funny, and they don't care. Like, it's so good. And they talk about their dating experiences of like the previous week, and they'll just like be fully honest about what went down.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to start listening to this one.
I mean, I think it's really funny. I recommended to my sister, and I'm like, let me know if you think it's like boring if you're in a relationship, or if it's just funny for anyone.
I'm sure you can relate to it like more, but I think it would be funny for
Anyone.
people who are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, how did you find that one? I can't remember.
How did I find? Oh, I think it was on recommended podcasts for me.
Yes.
And I was like, what's this? Click.
Can we do some honorable mentions?
Yeah. Okay. What's your honorable mention?
Cereal.
Duh.
This American Life.
Duh.
All NPR.
All of NPR. All the women in NPR. Shout out to every woman that works at NPR. Kind of, though.
They're the best. I
For
love
real.
NPR.
I know. I wish I could cuddle with NPR. Just love them.
So, do you have any more honorable mentions, or just anything NPR?
Anything NPR? Let's see. Let me scroll through my phone. Let's do a live scroll.
I also didn't discover NPR until I moved to Seattle. Does NPR exist in the state of Texas?
Yeah, it's national.
National Public Radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we didn't listen to it. Did you? Did y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all listen to NPR?
I did
Your
because
dad
I'm
was
in the
hip.
news. No, my dad didn't show it to me. I found it.
Oh, okay. My
I
parents
probably would have
didn't
thought it was
show
boring growing up. Okay, so can I just do random mentions that aren't female? So our top
Yes.
3 were female. But
Yes.
So this one, have you ever watched the Fab Five?
Yes.
What is it? Queer Eye?
Yes.
Eye. So sorry, I'm kind of a little sick today, so my brain's everywhere. But it's Jonathan Van Ness, the guy with long hair who's a hairdresser. He is brilliant. He is also very curious about things. So he has on guests that are very like renowned and well-known, and professors and doctors and scientists, and we'll just ask them about random topics that he's curious about.
That's awesome.
And it's called Getting Curious.
Okay, that's a perfect one.
And he is adorable. I just recommend, if you need a light in your life, to like expose yourself to JVN, because he's definitely a light in my life. He's very inspirational because he doesn't care what other people think. I also listen to Pod Save America. But that, like, love those guys, but it's also just it's kind of run by dudes, and they're talking about all these social issues, and they brought on women and they brought on some diversity, but at the same time, I think
America NPR.
No, they're their own entity, but they were like the people that worked with President Obama. So they were like on his board. I don't know.
They were on something
to do with Obama. Oprah, Super Soul.
Oh,
she's a powerful lady.
She's so
Super Soul Sunday. That's just Oprah's podcast. Atlanta Monster. The Money Nerd. The girl who was on my podcast, Whitney. Those are my main ones.
Nice. Good recommendations. And I'm going to listen to some of your recommendations.
I'm excited for Bobby Bones.
Oh, yeah. And you have so many to catch up on.
I know.
Endless supply.
Revolutionary. So what are you looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to going to Texas.
Again, girl, you were a Texas commuter.
I'm just
when are you not
constantly going to Texas. Oh, my God. What the hell?
Are you there more than here?
Kind of. I'm over it. Not really. I love Texas, but I love it here too. I'm going to Texas because my cousin is getting married.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am a bridesmaid and I am helping to host a shower on Saturday.
Is the wedding this weekend too?
Nope. The wedding is the weekend I get back from India.
Oh, man.
I literally land on Monday and then the wedding is on Saturday.
And then your wedding's coming up in the spring.
And then my wedding is really coming up. Keep on the lookout for a save the date. It's coming your way. Do you want me to call you Jacqueline or Kenzie?
Kenzie.
Okay.
I'll pronounce it like my ex-boyfriend's dad used to pronounce it for some reason. Kenzie. Such a Texas accent. Kenzie.
I'll put Kenzie on.
It was permanently in his mind. Kinsey. I was like, no, it's Kenzie. I dated your son for 6 years. Okay.
Did you ever call him out on it?
No, because he was like my first boyfriend's parents, so I wasn't gonna let go.
Yeah, you just gotta let it go.
And yeah, what am I looking forward to this week? I don't know.
You got nothing? Pumpkin spice latte?
I've already said that as my good thing.
I
need to continue working out. I need to get into yoga. You need to get me motivated to get back on the yoga train.
What else could you look forward to?
Okay, so for my good thing,
yeah,
I need to get back into yoga.
Okay. Anything else that you can look forward to, like a little bit?
I mean, Denmark.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Berlin and Paris. But those are just like permanent things up on the wall that I'm looking forward to. You know, like a big event that you just keep on your mind.
Okay, let's talk this out. So I leave October 29th. I get back November 11th. When do you leave?
November 29th.
Okay, so we have like 2 weeks
to record an episode or two.
Okay, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We're like talking about the stress of planning this podcast on the podcast. Is that like meta?
If we skip a week, then we'll just come back.
Forgive us.
Full force.
We'll come back with a vengeance.
Full force.
It's
You'll hear
not
all
over.
about India and Denmark and Paris.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Adios.
Bye.